Apparently, it's all a big joke. Where's my sound effect? Yeah, so it's so comical and funny. Like a long time ago, there was a disagreement between me and a bunch of people that we're going to be talking about, and I left and said, I'm out of this. You guys post your own video. That video never showed up. There was BS all over the place, and there was no video. Now again, here we are, like a year and a quarter later. There's BS everywhere. There's no video. It's not coming. How do I know it's not coming? Why would I circumvent this process? Well, we've got one of the admins from Universal Fans. Every post I put up, all she does is laugh, laugh, laugh. Yeah, libel is laughter until you end up in court. Have fun with that. The other thing is that people have been sending me a bunch of information about the fact that people are doubling down and my name is being dragged through the mud, which I don't give a shit about. Because at least it's not some woman that is innocent in all of this having her name dragged through the mud. It's all men attacking women. I'm telling you this right now. People see women fighting. When a man gets involved and then starts attacking a woman and makes some statements like you're going to see, because I'm now providing the evidence because I'm sick of waiting for a response that I know is never going to come, you will see the truth. And let me explain, this is the tip of the iceberg, my friends. I am not out to hurt people, but when people refuse to apologize, when people refuse to take responsibility for what they've done, when people start to drag my name through the mud rather than own up to what they have said, what choice do they leave me? None. And it goes much deeper than this, and it gets much worse, and I hate to do this. Well, I did hate to do this, but now I don't. I hated making the first video. Now I don't, because we've seen the behavior that has occurred. Okay? And you can just go through my YouTube channels and see the laughing by administrators that have accused a person of hacking their account and accused a person of being the cause of the death of her husband. Sad, pathetic stuff. Okay? I hope my sound effects are working. But anyway, let's talk about this. And you're going to see some images coming up, and they're just going to play over and over. And you can distinguish from that what you want. Well, I'll try to describe things that are happening here. Like for people outside of the BCR community, I know some people have posted and said, I cannot believe how bad the BCR community is. Something you have to understand about the BCR community is that narcissists, for example, exist. So the thing about narcissists, and we all know this about narcissists, they need to attach themselves to someone that brings to them the fame or power or whatever it is that they need, because that's who they are. If you do some research on narcissists, you can see this, right? So obviously, some people somewhat make themselves available, or people become attached to these people that are famous. Pardon me for 1 second. You'll have to excuse that because I had to buy Canadian beer. But anyway, so there's narcissists, right? I want to explain for people who are shocked about the absolutely childish behavior. I need to explain this. There are narcissists. They are constantly doing things and causing trouble. But they're a small percentage. Then you have these things, minions, right? These are people that have arrested emotional development. They never totally matured. And they are used to go out there and to spout evil. Okay? Because the narcissist understands the law enough that they never go too far. But they will put other people out there to do this because these people, they don't understand, right? And then the other level is people that are aging and are having problems understanding what's going on. And these are the true victims because they get taken advantage of. And those are the people that all of these people are seeking out, right? Minions and people that can be taken advantage of, right? And so all of that is going on in BCR world. And that's why I kind of bowed out when I saw how ugly and disgusting it was. And I was getting messages from narcissists, like obvious narcissists. I was like, I can't bring people into this community. But then what ended up happening was I started seeing that this is continuing anyway. Why would I not at least warn people about this. The number one thing when you're dealing with a narcissist is if you see long messages repeated over and over to the point where you want to turn that person off, negativity, bullshit, meant to convince you and to manipulate you into something. Those are the signs. If you are becoming tired dealing with it, mute that person. You can mute me if you're full of my shit. But I'm not here for me. I'm here for other people. Like people will say that it's about me. It's not about me. I can't stand to see what is happening here. And with the evidence that's going to be coming up on the screen, you're going to understand. So anyway, I have, because I've seen that people are starting to attack me, and I've seen how one of the admins is laughing at everything and thinks it's a big joke, we know the evidence isn't coming, so it's time to go ahead and to provide some of our evidence and to deal with this shit. So here it comes. So here, here's the first thing. Here you see the post that was put up, and it looks innocent enough, and the purpose of it is to be innocent enough, in the sense that for most people, they'll get behind this because it seems somewhat sympathetic, right? So I have to kind of look at this separately to remember exactly what is said here, right? But here it is. There was a post, if only Alan were here to see this debut. And the sharing of this says, he would have been here if not for one selfish person. Right? So you can see that. And then the next thing that we see, and this is underneath, these are comments underneath, and I want people to understand, because people will start saying that I'm full of shit or whatever, and I've edited all this stuff. All of this comes from a video recording of the stuff that transpired there. Okay? You can't fake this. Okay? The responses are real. They're on video. The likes and hearts are on video. But for the most part, I think, keep the individuals who simply liked and hearted out of it, because they may not know what's going on, right? But anyway, you see that, and then you see a response. Well said. So let's break this down. One of the people planning the 50th, not the one that's going on right now, but the one that went on before the 50th anniversary of Roland, which then turned into something completely different, actually, and wasn't really very much about the Bay City Rollers, probably. So I said this in the first video that this had taken place. And now I don't even know how many days have gone by. There is denial, and then attacks about other things I said, saying that wasn't us and blah, blah, blah. Here it is. Nobody's apologized. And now from what I can see, there is going to be some doubling down, as if these people are the victims. Oh, you accuse someone of murder, yet you're the victim. If you look back at the first picture. Actually, no, let's say at the second picture. So I went in there when this happened, and I started asking questions, right? And if you look down at the bottom, there is on the second picture, it seems like a nerve has been hit, guilty conscience. These are responses to Eileen's family. So don't try to come in here and tell me that this is not an attack on Eileen. It absolutely is, and it was proven out by, in other photos and in the full video of this. A lot of people are victims and they don't know what they're talking about, right? So I'm trying to blue and red it out, right? But absolutely, probably a horrible edit here. I had people coming into the house and I had a dog barking. But absolutely, that's what they're talking about. And so the other claim that I made in my first video was that after this and so many other things, I'm glad that I'm putting on this video that beware of language. So much other bullshit happened, right? From these people. Oh my God, there was so much bullshit. But the two things that I was claiming were that libel against Eileen, and then the other one was libel about Gail Shackley. So let's take a look at this now, okay? How many days are we into this now? How many days are we into this now, waiting for evidence that Gail Shackley has hacked someone's account? It's a joke. And we know it's a joke based on Karen's comments, which is just joke. Guys, we're dealing with trolls here. But it's trolls on the level of libel that you can be sued for. And I think you should be sued for. Now, I didn't want to provide a lot of this stuff, and people may figure out who's going on here, what's going on here, and who's talking, right? And I don't want to popularize people with some type of mental health issues and people that are morons and idiots, right? So I typically wouldn't post, and I still try to keep the names out of it. But the other thing that concerns me is people might be, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, and they might be like, Blaine is just like crazy, and these people are right. You want to honor Alan. You want to honor Alan. I also have newspaper clippings. You do not want to support these people if you want to honor Alan. Because some nasty things were said about Alan that are, in my opinion, probably not true. They were published in newspapers years and years and years ago. I don't remember Eileen saying awful, awful things about Alan. I don't remember her doing awful things to Alan. Sorry, out of drive space. Continuing now. And I am looking forward to the evidence. But the reality is, being patient, as I've been trying to be in getting the evidence, is just leaving more and more and more time for me to be libeled, right? And for claims to be made that this is about me, and for people to laugh, and for people to absolutely not provide any evidence. So it's a waste of my time. I feel like I'm dealing with childishness here, when what we're actually talking about is the law. And it is fascinating to me that people will put laugh emojis where they are being accused of libel. It shows the level of who we're dealing with here. This is not this is not an unserious piece of business, folks. Anyone that thinks that it is really needs to look at themselves and how they could possibly think that way. And I explained why in my first video. Why? Because I know widows. I know about personal loss. Many of us learn through these experiences. Maturation. To mature. You don't just automatically mature by getting older. You have to have experiences. But more importantly, you have to learn from the experiences. Most people at our age, through learning, through experiences, even if they hate someone, would not claim that a widow is responsible for the death of her husband, knowing also that she took care of that person for many, many years, a person that was in poor health the day they met. Okay? So anyone that thinks this isn't serious, really, you got to look at yourself and reevaluate your moral system and wonder through your life if it's because you didn't have experiences or you didn't learn from them. That's the reality of the situation. And it's scary. It's not a joke. That's scary, in my opinion. So there we have it, folks. I expect more slander. I expect doubling down. I expect probably lots of evidence that people might have said something bad about these people, because that's the only evidence that I've seen so far. But like I said in my first video, I expect that because there are warring factions here about lots of things. Oh, and I should also mention, from what I also heard, the people that were in the evidence thing, not only are they not working on the event, I don't even think they're going to the event. And I think they actually work on other things, So there's still nothing. Okay. Thanks and have a good night or morning.